Hello, health-conscious audience. Turning 50 is an important milestone coming soon, with its own privileges and responsibilities. It's time to reflect, embracing change and prioritizing our health more than ever. Our food choices play a central role in this journey, and that's why we're here today to guide you about foods that you might want to carefully consider including in your meals. Over time, as we age, fatty and carb-rich foods become harder to process, mainly because our metabolism slows down and our stomachs and internal organs become less tolerant to overeating. Eating lots of foods high in saturated fats, like cheeseburgers, can increase your risk of heart disease. According to Health Information Services website, the body also stores more fat and loses muscle after age 50 due to hormonal changes. Our cells become less able to burn fat and instead tend to retain it. This is why men and women are susceptible to weight gain after age 50. Women are at higher risk due to loss of estrogen after menopause. Nutrition experts hesitate to call any food forbidden, reasoning that it's okay to eat all foods in moderation with an occasional treat of less than healthy fare. Still, some foods do merit a spot on the worst foods for your health list for men over 50. Why that age 50 cutoff? Because one way to cut the risk of medical conditions that are more common in older men, such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure, is to cut back on foods high in saturated fats, trans fats, cholesterol, salt, and added sugars. We asked experts to tell us the worst foods men should avoid and what to eat instead. Here's their answer. Number 1. Refined and processed foods. Refined and processed foods are the number one food to reduce at all ages. Refined and processed foods often contain high proportions of sugar, salt, saturated fats, additives such as preservatives and colors. After age 50, refined and processed foods becomes more difficult to process and digest. The calories in processed foods turn into fat. Processed foods are also high in salt and low in nutrients. Processed foods are linked to a dizzying array of health problems from high blood pressure to stroke, heart disease, impaired cognitive function, poor digestive health, and reduced immune function. British Medical Journal also found that processed foods significantly increase the risk of certain types of cancer. So what is considered processed food, or worse yet, processed food? British Medical Journal included a surprisingly large variety of foods in its research. Some ultra-processed foods include mass-produced packaged breads and rolls, packaged sweet and salty snacks, candy and desserts, soft drinks, and processed meats. Number 2. Alcohol. Consuming too much alcohol becomes more dangerous as we age. Not only do hangovers get worse with age, the harmful effects of alcohol on health are also getting worse. Drinking too much alcohol leads to liver damage, and for people over 50, it increases the risk of accidents in the home and falls. The National Institute on Aging says alcohol is involved in about 40% of burns and accidents, and the risk of alcohol-related accidents increases with age. Our balance tends to deteriorate with age, and this combines poorly with alcohol. The body also metabolizes alcohol more slowly, so we stay drunk longer. Alcohol is also very high in calories. A can of beer or a glass of wine is no better than a can of soda or a bar of chocolate. It is useful to summarize the recommended alcohol consumption limit, which is currently 14 units per week for men and women. Number 3. Deli meats. Even though some deli meats may be considered low in calories, that doesn't mean they're health foods. Deli meats are highly processed and tend to be high in sodium and preservatives, says Megan Wong, RD, a registered dietitian at Algical. People with high blood pressure or at risk of high blood pressure do not need extra sodium in their diet. Excess sodium causes fluid retention, increasing blood volume, which can lead to hypertension. Number 4. Fried food. You probably know that fried foods aren't exactly healthy, but experts say eating them is an especially dangerous choice after age 50. Fried foods are high in saturated fats. They are also high in calories, which increases the risk of weight gain. Number 5. Diet soda. Many people think that drinking diet soda is a good option. Fewer calories, no sugar. But recent research shows the opposite. There's compelling evidence that drinking diet soda increases belly fat and blood sugar, the risk of getting diabetes, your risk of developing dementia and incident stroke. What to drink instead? If you crave something sweet, you can always spice up your water by adding fruit. Have homemade iced tea, no added sugar. Prepare a vegetable smoothie or fruit. Of course, this is easier said than done, especially if you are used to a daily diet. Number 6, grapefruit. You may be wondering, what does grapefruit do on the list of foods to avoid after age 50? It turns out eating or drinking grapefruit can actually make some medications dangerous for you. It can counteract or amplify the side effects of many medications. For example, grapefruit is banned from use as a blood pressure medication, anti-anxiety medication, and antihistamine. So if you're taking medications that may not mix well with grapefruit, it's best to avoid. What to eat instead? Grapefruit is a great way to get your vitamin C and fiber, but thankfully, it isn't the only fruit in the world packed with vitamin C. You can also get it from broccoli, lemons, oranges, strawberries. Number 7, raw eggs. We have heard that some people eat raw eggs to build muscle and increase vitality, but we want to mention here that raw eggs can be very harmful for people who are over 50 years old. The reason is that raw eggs pose a potential risk of salmonella infection, which can be harmful to older people. Therefore, people over 50 should do their best to avoid eating raw eggs. It is a fact that eggs are considered a healthy food, but they need to be boiled or cooked properly before eating. Number 8, raw meat. Although you will come across some raw meat recipes that are considered delicious delicacies, it would be wise for the elderly to avoid them at all costs. In fact, these foods are not cooked, which means the bacteria in the meat cannot be destroyed with heat. This risks making older people seriously ill in the long term. Therefore, older people should pay attention to eating lean white meat like chicken instead of choosing raw meat. Number 9, foods containing empty calories. Foods that are quick and easy to make, like donuts and chips, may satisfy your hunger, but they won't provide you with the nutrients you need. Because many older adults naturally become less active as they age, it becomes much more difficult to get rid of excess calories. Eating healthy is always a good idea, but as you get older, it becomes even more important. By reducing or avoiding these foods, you may feel better and keep your doctor happy. Number 10, sugar-free drinks. At first glance, beverage or food products containing artificial sweeteners may seem like a good alternative to products high in sugar, but they are not. Research has shown that artificial sweeteners contribute to weight gain and other health problems. Even though the calories may be lower, you may still want to eat more of this product to satisfy your sweet tooth. In conclusion, the key to a healthy diet after 50 is finding balance with your food choices. And of course, trying to avoid the foods we listed. Be mindful about what you eat in terms of how it makes you feel afterwards. If you're feeling sluggish or uncomfortable after eating certain things, try cutting back on those items and see how that affects your body. Eating a healthy diet is always a good idea, but as you get older, it can be even more important. By reducing or avoiding your intake of these foods, you can feel better and make your doctor happy too. We have come to the end of this video.